Joshua and all these lovelies. Just a few of my collection. But I want to say a happy birthday to Pokemon. Today, 27th of February, Pokemon officially came out. And it's a big year obviously for Pokemon fans. We get Pokemon Sun and Moon was officially confirmed. So I know in my video that I was saying and stuff I kept calling it a new gen. I think it's a new gen, but obviously not confirmed. That was a mistake on my part, sorry about that. So yes, I was trying to think, what can I do for a Pokemon video? And a few people have done this, but they've basically shared their life, like their journey with Pokemon. And I thought, I would do it too, because Pokemon is a big part of my life. Oh, my whole life. And so I thought it would be a cute little video to share. I can like redeem it myself. I haven't got this written out or anything, so sorry if it's like I always do that in videos. But let's get on with it. I have my Jigglypuff t-shirt on, and probably just looks a bit weird with the belly. Don't look. You stay there, sure. And I got my little Squirtlings in. I was gonna put my Pokeball ones in, but I put one of these Squirtle ones that I have. So, and Squirtle is my favourite starter from the very first gen. Although, I did start with Pokemon Yellow. Woo! But that isn't where I started with Pokemon. With Pokemon, I started with the anime, like many people. I was probably around 4 or 5 when it hit me. In the UK. I remember being at my very first house that I lived in, and I know I moved from there when I was 5 because I spent my 6th birthday in my second house. So yes, I saw the adverts for it, and I think they started playing it on Cartoon Network as well at the time, but I didn't have Sky because obviously in UK you have to have Sky to watch Cartoon Network and everything. So I used to only watch it on a Saturday show, morning show, or was it a Sunday? It was on one of the weekend days, and it was Anton Decken, if anyone remembers it, like that's the theme tune to it. I can't remember what it was actually called. Sorry, just a noise downstairs. No, it's people, don't murder me! I'm talking about Pokemon, just let me finish. If you hear noise in the background too, it's the cat. It's knocking all my teddies off. Oi! But yeah, I started with the anime like a lot of people did, and I was obsessed with Ash. I thought it was great, and now I know what a thing he is. No, I can't hate on Ash. I still do watch the anime. I keep up with it, though it is repetitive, but I know I don't hate on it because of it's for children, and they have the origins, and I've been enjoying the Mega Evolution episodes too, and not so much the movies. I don't really enjoy the movies as much because the story is like very repetitive and stuff, and like I said, it's very childish, but I just hate when they repetitively use storylines repeatedly. That's kind of just annoying. But the new one has come out, the X, Y and Z series, and I did watch the first episode with Zygarde's new forms and stuff like in it. Well, yes, we see the dog form as well, and basically the little wormy form, form 1, I think they're calling it. Or is it form 2? I cannot remember. I think they're calling the first, I don't know, I can't remember now if they call like the big one the form 1, whatever. But yes, I started off obviously in love with Ash. Now actually my favourite character was Misty, like this funky girl, and I think she was like a role model for a lot of girls at that point. I just wanted to be Misty, and you can see my love for Misty because my dog actually that I have now, she's 10, she was 10 the other day actually, and she's called Misty, and not after the weather. Like, my mum was like, what do you want to call her? I was like, Misty. And she was like, why do you want to call her Misty? Like, she thought maybe weather-wise. I was like, no, I'm calling her after Pokemon, duh. Although she doesn't like water. She doesn't like rain or anything, so that's great. I think I love water starter Pokemon. They generally what I go for. There's only 2 other gens where I prefer the grass type, and then there's no fire type that I really, not that I hate the fire types and stuff like that, it's just that they want my favourites in the 3. But So yeah, that's where it all started for me, and eventually I didn't grow up with game consoles or anything when I was younger because my parents didn't like me. And I was too young to get the very first ever game, and so I remember the advert for on the Mew tape, you know, the first ever movie that came out, and eventually it wasn't until I lived in my third house that Game Boy Color came out and Pokemon Yellow, and I got Pokemon Yellow because I wanted Pokemon Yellow. I wanted to be Ash, and I remember I've got my the very first little Pikachu figurine that kind of was. He's like a little pencil top and he's all chubby and fat like the original Pikachu. And I remember calling him Tom for some reason, and so every time now I get like a Pikachu in a game, I just call it Tom because I think it's nice, unless it's a girl Pikachu. But yeah, I don't know why I called it Tom. I just had a fat Pikachu called Tom. Like, his name's Tom. Look at it. I've got two other Pikachus, but they're like the slim Pikachu. They're not Tom. This one is Tom. He has a name. I'm just trying to think now, like, what was it made by? Tommy Toys. So yes, it's called Tom. But yeah, let me check on my camera. Sorry, there's a lot of cutting and moving about in this video because I have a timer on my camera thing that I have to do. I'm sorry if you can hear barking because the next door's dog is barking. So yes, I went on my journey with my little Pikachu Tom, and I didn't really know what I was doing in the game because, as I said, I was new to games, and I kind of just pissed about with it, to be honest. I remember also, like, I never really had any glitches. I didn't know about the rumours about, like, Mew being under the truck and everything else like that, so I didn't have to worry about, like, falling for the rumours that was around because I didn't have internet. And that's another thing too, because I didn't have help looking up for stuff with Pokemon. I collected the cards, I collected everything. Like, there was just a big hype at this point when Pokemon Yellow and the newer games came out, because it was more for my generation, because they were pretty much too young to be playing game consoles at the time. I know my cousin had the original games, but I didn't know about that at the time. And so it just went crazy, Pokemon, at one point. I'm sure everybody knows the big boom of Pokemon. And now it's kind of sad because it's not as big anymore, especially in UK. It's hard to get stuff, and generally you have to order stuff online. It's even hard to get cards. Even when you go into town, you don't even see anything, even if you go to the big towns. Even at conventions sometimes, it's like hard to find Pokemon stuff. And it's pretty sad, yeah. I only have these few things, and I have got these from the UK. I don't know about Piplup. I think Piplup I did get from Japan, but the others are from the UK actually. And so yeah, I stayed with Pokemon for quite a long time, and even when the boom sort of like ended, I still loved playing on my game, repeating it wherever. I had a few friends that were still kind of into it, but like some of them, they were fading out, and I sort of just forced them. They were like, oh, you can have my Pokemon, and they would like just transfer them over, so I got a lot of legendaries that way. I didn't have to go get them myself, like the bird legendaries and stuff. I cheated, I didn't have to go get them myself. My friends just gave me all their Pokemon by the link cable. I just gave them shitty, like Caterpie or something, Magikarp, whatever. And I remember at one point, my friend restarted my game. He thought it was funny that, oh, like, I'll just reset all her game and she'll lose all her Pokemon. But luckily, I hit him over the head, obviously, and cried, and then restarted the game all over again and finished it. I don't remember if I finished it, but I know I had some of the legendaries, so I must have. I never got the Mew or anything like that in the game, because I think you only could get it if you went to go see the movie. I'm not sure if that was a thing in the UK, but I never went to see the movie in cinema. I had it on DVD. I used to still watch the DVD and everything, but as the craze sort of fought down, I still loved Pokemon. I had posters with it on. I didn't really have many teddies at that point because not many teddies came out, but I had Pikachu and stuff. But I think my cards kind of just got put in a drawer, and so did the game, because no one played it. I didn't know anyone who played it anymore, and it just the boom hit and it like and it just died out after a while. And there were a few people that carried on playing, and then eventually new things came out, and they just never bothered with it anymore. I know a lot of people got into Digimon, because that's what my friend did. I loved Digimon at the same time as still Pokemon. Like, I was one of the ones that liked Digimon and Pokemon. I didn't hate any of them. But I stuck more with Pokemon, to be honest, than Digimon. I don't know. But I don't hate Digimon, and I've been thinking about like reading back into it or something, because I know there's the newer kind of animes of it. There's just like noises downstairs. I'm like, what? Someone's trying to murder me, guys. From the police. But basically, the show I used to watch Pokemon on didn't air anymore. And like I said, it went over to Cartoon Network, and I didn't really watch Cartoon Network anymore. I only saw Cartoon Network when I was at other people's houses that had Sky, and I didn't have Sky. We couldn't afford Sky. Poor. And although, like, still, like, so none of my friends really mentioned Pokemon at all, like, and they never told me that New Generations came out. So I didn't even know when the New Generations came out or anything. I know I watched some of Dragon Ball when I was at my friend's or whatever, on Sky channels, and there was just nothing really out. You never saw advertisements for games like you do kind of now. And it wasn't until I was a bit older. I didn't have internet for a while. I got internet when I was like 12, 13. And it was around basically at that time. I got a DS, but I didn't know about Pokemon games. And it was like, I had the like pet one, and like I had like a zoo thing, and like Zoo Tycoon, and like that thing. I know I had can't remember it at some point as well. But I was at my cousin's house, and her mum was like, "Oh, have the telly," and I was just sat in the room, and I could choose whatever, and I was like, "Cartoons!" And I was looking through, and she had Sky, so and Pokemon was on. I was like, "Oh, I haven't watched Pokemon in a long time." I was like, so I scrolled down to it. I still have my posters on my wall and everything. And like I said, my dog was named Misty, and this was after the big boom of Pokemon. And let's just check the timer. It should be okay. And it had a new title. It was Pokemon something. I can't remember exactly. I think it's just was called Diamond and Pearl, because it was Diamond and Pearl series. May was in it, and I clicked it. I was like, what's this? What? Who's that? What is that? That's not a Pokemon. No, I deny it all. No, but actually, I was pretty excited. I was like, there's new Pokemon. Me every day. Me with Pokemon Sun and Moon. And then like my cousin, who was still kind of into Pokemon, he never said anything to me. He had the games, and he had one for the DS, which was the Diamond Pearl, and he was like, you can borrow it, but I wasn't allowed to save over, you know, like you only have one save file, so I basically had to play it overnight. But I kept it for a few days and just kept replaying it over and over every day. And it was during the summertime, so it was okay. And I was then going over to my aunt and like, can I watch Pokemon? Because it used to come on at certain times, so she used to let me watch it. And then eventually, you know, when I hit high school, they started showing it on a morning program. And it started off with Diamond Pearl, and then eventually when they got through Diamond Pearl, they started showing the second like generation, because obviously Diamond Pearl was basically the third, and it was with May and everything. But I really liked Dawn. Dawn became my favourite character at one point, and I think she inspired me to have blue hair. At the moment it's very faded. I thought I had dye. I was going to dye it yesterday, but I've had to order some online. So sorry. But yeah, I've never called a character Dawn though. A dog or pet Dawn. It'll have to be a name at some point. I'm trying to think if I've ever called anything else after Pokemon, but I don't think I have apart from Misty. So yeah, that's when I eventually got back. I never left Pokemon, but I did get rid of my games and my cards. I know it's sad. I don't remember anything that happened to them. The only thing I can think of is that my mum probably was like, oh, she doesn't play with these really anymore because there was no one to play them with. She just got rid of them. I'm like, I have no idea. It's just blurred out my head. But I know I had posters and stuff still. I even had an old balloon of a Pikachu on it. I don't know. like a helium balloon that burst, and I just kept the Pikachu. I don't know, this dead balloon. But yeah. So I was back into the Pokemon crowd. I had a DS at that point. I got myself a second-hand copy of the game. I played through, and I played through with Piplup. So he's got a load of chains on him and stuff. I loved Piplup. He was replaced sadly with Oshawott. Sorry, Oshawott. But these two are generally my favourite starters. And like I said, I generally do go for water types and stuff. And I want it to be done. Although I do prefer, I guess I like the competitions too. I prefer them more in the X and Y sort of, well, Ruby and Sapphire area games at the moment. I think they're a bit more better. And I'm sad that they didn't really bring the thing into X and Y, because there's like the thing in X and Y anime and stuff. I thought that would have been pretty cool. It's pretty similar to the competition things and all that, but I think they could have brought that in. And so, but yeah, I really enjoyed the games, and I've stuck with the games pretty much. I haven't played the gold or silver, platinum, whatever, or anything. Like I keep saying I should get them, but I just never do. But yeah. The games come out today, the Pokemon Yellow and everything, but I'm really tempted to get Blue. I kind of want to get Yellow because it's like my childhood. I can name the Pikachu Tom. But yeah, then I'm so tempted to get Blue because Squirtle's my favourite. And I never had the option really when I was a child, because my mum picked it. She was like, she's gonna be like Ash. Please, mum, not now. Just like, I want Squirtle. I said with a dumb Pikachu called Tom. No, I love you, Pikachu. Maybe get both. And you can be able to transfer them over to the other game, so that'll be fun. I think I'm gonna go for Squirtle just because, like, I really want to have that team. I don't know. Although I won't be able to have my Vaporeon because I'll have like 2 water types then. Vaporeon is one of my favourites from the very first gen. Going off topic. Well, no, it's not Pokemon. I can talk about Pokemon all the time. So yeah, I carried on with the games. Obviously then Black and White came out, and they carried on, that show came on. I think they started showing it on a show then called CITV, so CITV I kind of got to catch up with them. And I got the internet and I was able to look everything up and stuff. I don't think I ever even got to finish watching the first gen animation. I think the show the show that I used to watch it on ended before it even got to finish showing all of Pokemon, and so I only got to watch it when I was a bit older, what happened in the league and stuff like that with Charizard and everybody else. And so yeah, but definitely Black and White, I was like, that was like the first that I'd ever seen like an advert for a game on the actual telly, and I was really into it at this point. And obviously Teddy started coming out again, so it kind of hit big, because I think it's because they started showing it on telly, and I started knowing a bit more people that were playing it. I know there were people who played the card things. I started picking up cards again, and it was like I went off of cards and now I'm back into them, but I haven't bought any for a while. They are pretty expensive for what they are, and I usually get Buzzbots, but I haven't really bothered at the moment. But there's the Pokken one, like the really cute series that I want to get at the moment, but there's just like other things that I'm doing at the moment. It's like so hard. But yeah, I guess not a lot of my friends were into it, and I kind of wasn't in a great group of friends at school. Like, there's only one that I talk to now. She's fine with, I like games and anime, but some of the people was like kind of didn't kind of like that I liked anime. They were my friends, but they kind of made fun of me, and it kind of hurt a little bit that they were making fun of me because I watched anime and games. You shouldn't hang around with people like that, you know? And so that's why I kind of don't hang around with them anymore, apart from Emily, because she's fine with it. So yeah, I am just a big child, I cannot help it. And it's the same now, like, you get a lot of people that tell you to grow up. I say, do whatever you want, guys. you can love Pokemon. My cousins love Pokemon. Yeah. And obviously I became friends with Charlotte again. I never kind of became friends. We were friends in junior school, and then we kind of split ways in high school because I was older than her and stuff, and so she was still in junior school when I hit high school, and so I had to make a few new friends. And so, but yeah, now we're back friends. She loves Pokemon. Emma loves Pokemon, but she's not as obsessed as me and Charlotte are. She sort of gets the games and then never finishes them. Damn it, Emma. Now I pretty much have 2 friends that play Pokemon, as well as a cousin as well, and I probably know a few other people too. I've started watching more streamers start playing Pokemon. I started getting into like the YouTube channels and everything else, and I've met plenty of people at conventions, and so it's really started hitting once Black and White came out, and Black and White 2. And Black and White is pretty much my favourite series, and it's where 2 of my favourite Pokemon pretty much came out. Oshawott came out in that series. Oshawott is my favourite starter, but he's not my favourite Pokemon. My favourite Pokemon is Stoutland. I didn't think to throw him. I was like so scared out. But as you can probably see on my avatar thing, my favourite is Stoutland, and maybe people find him boring because he's a normal type, whatever, but like I said, I have a dog. I used to have a lot of dogs, and I have Yorkshire Terriers, and Stoutland kind of looks like a Yorkshire Terrier. When I first saw it, I was like, I need it. I just saw Lilliput, I was like, I need it. It looks like a little terrier, it looks like a little puppy. I like dogs, but like I've never really used any other type of dog type looking Pokemon, whatever, but I was like, I need this, I need to call my dogs after it. I didn't call it Misty, but I did actually catch one and call it Misty. And I called one Pebbles, and I called one Dinky, I called one Lucy, and I called one Todd. And Todd is who you see in my avatar. I used to have 5 Yorkshire Terriers. Sadly, we only have Misty left now. They've all passed of old age. But Todd was actually my oldest dog and my first dog. I used to have a dog called Sooty, but technically he was my grandma's dog and he was like an older dog. And we had Todd at the same time, but pretty much I got Todd when I was like around 4 or 3. So basically my whole life I had this dog, and he died when I was 19 years old. So he lived a very long time. We had him as a pup, and he was a very healthy dog, and he outlived as other Yorkshire Terriers that we got after him and stuff. They died of old age too. They lived around like their expected age group, but he surpassed it, and hopefully Misty does too. She's 10 at the moment. She's all good. She's got an ear infection at the moment though, so sadly. But yeah, Todd basically, I loved my dog Todd, and it broke my heart. I'm 23 now, and I still cry over it. It's been 4 years, and it was the hardest death to go with. Like, the other dogs were more for my mum, and when you think of Yorkshire Terriers, you think of like loud, noisy things, but he wasn't. He was a very quiet dog, and I think it replicated me because I went through a lot of hard shit at school, and often the knock came home crying, and I had this dog that I really literally thought could understand me, and he stayed with me all day. He followed me. He even used to bark at the door because he knew when I was coming home from school, and he would be waiting for me at the gate and be so happy to see me. And I was so happy to see him at the end of the day. And now it kind of hurts that he's not here anymore. And Misty's a lot more for my mum. We have cats now, it's not really the same. I do love my cats. I love Tiddles, and Mr. Pussycat is hanging around somewhere. But yeah, they kind of just come when they want. Todd never left my side. It was like undying love. And I don't know, I kind of always feel guilty about his death. Obviously it wasn't my fault, but it's so hard having to choose that option, basically, to have him put down, because he was killing himself, basically. He lost a lot of weight, and he was basically skin and bone because he wasn't well. But I just broke down and wouldn't let him go even when he had passed. I was just holding onto him for like, I think hours. Like, I just wouldn't let him go. Like, and I just cried. And I couldn't even sleep in my own bed for days, because I used to sleep with my dog, and it just felt horrible. I just couldn't sleep in this bed for a long time. And I even had like, he used to sleep in bed with me, but he had like these cushions and stuff. I used to set them up on the bed because I used to toss and turn in my bed, and so sometimes he would get up and go like get in the bed if I was tossing and turning. And I even used to set the cushions up still. And now, like, I live in a different house, and that was one of the things that was kind of holding me onto that house. I didn't want to go because I felt like he was there still. I don't know. I know this is not Pokemon, but it has to do with the story that I called my dog Todd, and I had him at the time. And that original Todd, I went through, I had him from the very beginning, and I went through the Elite Four with him, and I even got one in black and white, but I still have my original. I transferred them over to games and stuff, but I didn't want to use it in the black and white too, because obviously I'd leveled him up. It was the very first Pokemon I leveled up to 100. I still have the original Todd on Alpha. Wait, which one have I got? Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, yeah. I forgot which one it was called. I was going to say Omega Ruby, but I was like, I always forget which one I've got. It's Alpha Sapphire, for God's sake. It's actually the blue one. And so yeah, and I love him so much. Because even now I find it hard to level them up, but I did level them up, and I just have a connection with this one Pokemon that I have in my thing. I have done it with some others. I've named them after my pets. I actually decided to call a Zoroark that I used Misty, and I called a Skitty Tails, and I used that during Alpha Sapphire playthrough. I didn't use Todd in my Alpha Sapphire playthrough, I just transferred him over because, like I said, it would be cheating the game to go through with a level 100 Pokemon. But yeah, and I haven't really got anything that has Stoutland on it. I'm pretty sad about that because there isn't much of Stoutland. But yeah, I think like maybe a shiny would have suited him because he was a grey Yorkshire Terrier, but I don't like the mully green, so I kept him as the dark one. I've never gone for a shiny of him, but maybe I will one day. We can have a Todd Jr. I did actually like breed him and send out some Todd Juniors somewhere, so if you've got something called a Todd Jr, it's from me on Wonder Trade. Just a minute, there's someone heading inside my house. Oh well, someone is at that point, but it was nearly running out anyway on the timer. But yeah, so that is the sad story of my little avatar, basically, and I still have him. I love it now because I can play with him on the Ami thing, and it's just so cute, basically, but he's my little Tommy in the game. And so yeah, obviously then we got X and Y, and I loved it because the one thing that I've always wanted to do in Pokemon is customise my own avatar. Now I was a bit upset that there wasn't much like customization. Even like girls got a lot more than boys. It was very girly stuff, and I'm not that much girly. Although I kind of went with a coat, like this blue coat thing. I'm sad that they didn't have as many hairstyles, because you think for Pokemon, like at one point we did have a blue haired character called Dawn, and like a lot of them do have other colours, so I hope that they would bring that back maybe. I was sad that they didn't bring it to Sapphire and Ruby remakes, but I guess I just wanted you to play as the character May and stuff like that. I feel like, because I was very things like, do I want to put them in X and Y, all my Pokemon, like it does the Pokemon that's there, or Ruby and Sapphire, but I do play Ruby Sapphire, my Sapphire game more than that, so, and I never got to play that game when it first came out or anything, so I only have the experience with the remakes and stuff. But talking about X and Y, obviously I went with Froakie with that. I guess like my favourite starters will go Squirtle, Chikorita, I'm trying to think now, Piplup, Oshawott, Trico, the thingy, and Froakie was X and Y. And who knows, maybe in this new generation we'll get something else. Maybe I will actually prefer the fire type. And so yeah, X and Y, I got my Froakie. Although the story wasn't great, I liked the things that they kind of added to it, although it was one of the easiest games. But I know people like turning the X shell and you can do all these things in it, like do challenging mode and stuff like that, but I do still think it's one of the more easy ones, and it's just that the story doesn't catch you as much. And at first I was playing, like, I didn't really get the storyline. I had to play it a few times to really kind of understand it, and even then it wasn't really interested in me, and I'm not really interested in the gym leaders. I think you forget most of them apart from the fairy type gym, because it's the very first fairy type gym in the games. I think that's the only reason you remember it. And Valerie. So all the others are kind of very forgettable, and yeah, and just some of the easier gyms, like especially because of the bug and the grass, and they just easily wipe them out with one Pokemon, whatever. I was thinking, like, I have named a few Pokemon after pets I got, like Tiddles. I named it after Skitty because she's pretty much a Skitty. I haven't named Mr. Pussycat because it's kind of hard to name a Pokemon Mr. Pussycat, because yes, one of my cats is called Mr. Pussycat because I'm so original. His actual name is Winston, but that was what his previous owners called him and they abandoned him. So I don't want to call him that name. He doesn't really respond to it anyway. He doesn't respond to anything. He just, like, treats. Maybe we'll call someone sometime. I think it would be a bit like a meow, like a Persian or something. Like, or either that, or he'd be like, I don't know, like, what of a cat? I don't know. He's kind of grumpy. And then I have Dylan, who I named after a Bunnelby because he's a rabbit, but I never used it. But he does like digging, so that's why I chose it over a Baneri, because Baneri is kind of girly too, and Dylan's a boy, and he likes to dig the garden. If you put him out again, he'll dig a big hole. I've got a Torkoal called Herbert, because I have a tortoise called Herbert. I do have some mice and stuff, and I got a Dedenne and called it Carla, which is sadly a mouse that passed away, but she was one of the most friendliest pet mice that I ever had. She was so lovely. These ones I've got now are not so lovely. Like, I love them, they're cute, but they don't really like being handled much. I try to hold them, like the male kind of one that I have called Sasuke likes being held, but sometimes he's a bit grumpy and he will bite you. But yeah, so I have all those, and I sometimes used to call, like, goldfish Goldine. Like, I've had like a million fish called Goldine. And probably Magikarp and everything else. I'm pretty sure probably a lot of people did that with the fish or something. But yeah, and now then we got obviously F7. That was the first time I got to play the Sapphire and Ruby games. I didn't play Ruby obviously, but I have friends that have seen it. But generally same game, different characters, and that was the first time I got introduced with the storyline. I know it's a bit different because it's generally like a different. It's like a different universe to the other one, like different universes all in Pokemon, whatever. I know it's very confusing, but yeah, I really enjoyed that. I was really confused of which one I wanted to pick with the starter, but I fell in love with Trico. I think I know because of obviously anime Ash had a Trico, and I really liked his Trico in it. Mudkip, I know everyone loves Mudkip, I like Mudkip, but he wasn't just me. In fact, I preferred Torchic over Mudkip as well, so, but I do love all the starters. And also, I didn't really want to pick Torchic because we got the special Torchic with the Mega, and I was like, I want a different Mega this time, I don't want to pick Torchic over it, but I do prefer Trico actually over Torchic. And yeah, we did get the Megas. When I first played X and Y, when the Megas first came out, I didn't play through with a Mega because it was so hard that they brung these Pokemon out for X and Y, and then they brung out loads of Megas. So we got all these new Pokemon to like play with. And I just couldn't choose another. We got to choose from a Kanto starter, and I chose Squirtle because I love Squirtle. And I kind of used him for a bit, but because I chose Froakie, I already had a water type, but I felt like I needed to pick Squirtle because he's my favourite. I have to have his Mega, so I used him for a little bit as a placeholder, but then I just kind of went on, and I only used X and Y Pokemon. I have done some other playthroughs, and I've played with Mega Evolution, because I did do another playthrough, and I chose a Squirtle that time. I chose, what did I choose? I think I chose Fennekin the next time I played it through, and I used the Blastoise and used its Mega and stuff like that. I've done like Nuzlocke on it and stuff like that, so when things die and stuff, like it just gives it a harder challenge as well. And I'm looking at my Mega Evolution thing because I can't remember. I also used like the Lucario as well, the Mega Lucario, and I also chose the Charizard at one of the playthroughs because I love the Charizards. Mega Evolutions and stuff. I don't have all the Mega Evolutions on there, and obviously when Alpha Sapphire came out, I got an Altaria too, so I had that Mega Evolution along with Spectales. I forget the last evolution. What his name is. But yeah, but I love basically all the Mega Evolutions. That was a big deal to come out too. We love all the Mega Evolutions. It's gonna be hard now if this is a new gen that comes out. Now that we have all these gens and the Megas are coming out, I guess we all want remakes. They probably will get done eventually, but I'm glad like they're surprising us with new stuff. And if it's a new gen, we'll be looking for new Pokemon, but we'll also be looking for new Megas probably. Everyone's like speculating like Pokemon to do with the moon, sun, and we'll look at Megas and everything, like Lunatone and stuff like that. And who knows? But then it's pretty hard because when they come out with new Pokemon and then they have new Megas, and you're like, I really want to use that new Mega, where can I get? I really want to use these new Pokemon. I guess if you have something and then you find something like you haven't got its type on the team, it's a bit easier. There weren't generally any other Megas that, I don't know, I just really wanted to try out new Pokemon in X and Y. And I chose some, I thought like at first I wasn't keen on Leo. And then I ended up just picking one up, and he was on my team just as a placeholder. And he stuck around, and it came to the Elite Four. I had the girl one, and I just used it. Like, to be honest, it probably like, I did like it, but I think as well it was like laziness that I couldn't vote going out and training something else at that point. This was my first playthrough of it, but I did actually like the Pokemon. And I got to like the design and stuff like that. I called it Nala because obviously Lion King and stuff, I like my Disney. I generally do give all my Pokemon nicknames unless I do other playthroughs and stuff like that. The ones that I'm actually using on a team, I will bring in. I think I call my Squirrel Nadea or something like that. And it turns into the Blastoise and stuff, it kind of sounds girly, I know. But yeah, that was kind of my experience with Pokemon. It was the very first ever console game that I ever owned, and I still love it. I am 23 years old, I still love Pokemon, and I never plan to stop like loving it. People can say whatever they want. I think me and Charlotte will carry on loving it, and I'll keep updating on this channel, and maybe we'll just do some redo stuff. We'll probably even film going to get the games once it comes out, and I'm basically now going to download the new games. They're not new games, they're technically kind of are. Pokemon Yellow, Blue, Red and Green will be out today on downloadable versions on the eShop, so I think they're like £15 something. Definitely go get them, especially if you've not played them, do. And even if it's a part of your childhood, just do it, just do it, just do it. I cannot wait to play them, and I'm just very excited. Childhood, oh. You know, it makes me feel so old that it's 20 and I'm 23, I'm 24 this year. I'm so granny. I No, it doesn't help that I'm the oldest out of my friends. But yes, not sure what there. I'll do some probably like favourite Pokemon. I can't remember if I've already done some on this channel. But yeah, I will probably start picking up some Pokemon videos. Maybe we'll see something about the Pokemon Blue what I'm going to be playing today. So I'm going to go get it now, guys. But that is my journey with Pokemon. Hope it made you laugh and cry and just, yeah, makes me cry because I'm thinking about Todd now. But just memories that I have, like, I got this t-shirt because obviously the Jigglypuff back in the very first animation always used to make me laugh and I always wanted it. I was so, like, I just wanted it as a Pokemon. Akshu, basically just great to see it was there. I do like Akshu. I like Iris's Akshu because he used to see in hair, though I'm not very keen on Iris. Apart from the game, she's okay in the game. I got Pansage. I have 2 of these because my friend got me one and I already had it because it was just at the shop with Akshu. And I'm not very into the monkeys, but he's my favourite out of them. He looks a bit like Broccoli. Snivy, the starter. That's Charlotte's favourite starter. And Oshawott. I don't have a Tepig, sadly. They didn't have a Tepig. I have this Happiny. And when I was playing Diamond Pearl, I did hatch my egg and was trying to hatch Happiny, and I didn't know what happiness was or anything. I was new to all this. Piplup, and he does actually. I have an Oshawott badge and a Piplup, and she also has a Suicune, one of my favourite legendaries. It also has like a donut and a Minecraft pig stuck to the chain. My obviously little fat Pikachu. And Krogan. I love Krogan just for the fact that I used to like stab Brock at the butt basically with poison jab. And I have a few other figurines, like I have a Pikachu robot. I have an old Pikachu from I think it's like Burger King or McDonald's or something. I have like some shooters that I play with a cat. I've got Zoroark and Oshawott on. I have Dewott, I have Snivy, I have another Oshawott, I have Samurott, Sylveon, Prokhorov, Dealing, Pampar. I'm just trying to look. And just a lot of other stuff, and then I've got stickers, obviously got my earrings in and everything else, but and poster over there. I want another poster, bigger poster. I've got a poster in the cupboard too with all Pokemon on, apart from X and Y. It's not up to date with that, but yeah, come here, there's my Piplup and Oshawott and my face. Okay, you got some Krogan too. And a little Pikachu. That's it for me today, guys. Oshawott, come back. Aqua, come back. But that's it, guys. Please leave a comment down below for me and my Pokemon to read. Hey, come back. And what were your experiences of Pokemon and everything else, and your experience with the games, and what you're going to be doing today. Are you going to be downloading the new games? But well, not new games, the older games, but yeah, you know what I mean. But